So if you haven't downloaded the Blue Letter Bible, it's BLB Blue Letter Bible on your app on your iPhone. This is one of the greatest tools, and this is not coming out of my mouth. This is coming from a guy that has a PhD in Hebrew. He told me this is one of the greatest concordance you can have for the Hebrew language. I thought that was great to hear. Like, it just makes me feel like, okay, powerful tool, need to learn it, need to use it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I went to Genesis chapter 1. If you want to change your books, and I'm doing it on here, so if you're watching on YouTube, you can see this clearly. You can click on the top part and you can choose the Old Testament, New Testament, and all of the books of the Bible. I'm specifically going to be right here in Genesis 1:1 just to keep it simple. And one of the verses that I'm going to that I think is very interesting, there is tons just in Genesis chapter 1, just so y'all know. But I'm clicking on verse 21. And then I'm going to click on this pop-up here. It says interlinear / concordance. I'm clicking on that. What this shows, like I talked about last time, is you have the Hebrew text. If you want to learn Hebrew, I would honestly say it's definitely worth looking into. You read from right to left. It's simpler than English, I'll tell you that.
I just downloaded it. It's pretty cool.
There you go. So you're looking at the top part is the Hebrew script, that Bible verse. If you scroll down, you can see each of the words, the Hebrew words, and like the top one, it says H1254. That means in the Hebrew dictionary, that's going to be word number 1254. So if you're looking at one of the words from the New Testament, it's going to say like G1000 whatever, 2000 whatever, because that's the Greek word in that dictionary. And so you can go word by word to kind of look at how each of words sound when they're close together. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can use that. Specifically, what I want to look at is this Bible verse says, "And God created whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl or bird after his kind, and God saw that it was good." And I thought this was really interesting because as I was looking through multiple translations of this specific verse, it seemed a little, I don't want to say misleading, but it didn't match up on one specific word, and that's the word whales. So I'm clicking on this bubble to the right of the word whales, which is H8577, and that pops up another pop-up here. I'm going to click on the little underline that says Strong's H8577 again. This word, this Hebrew word, I'll let the actual thing tell you.
Strong's H8577. Tanim.
So that word whales that we saw in our English Bible, it actually means what? What does it say right there, Lonnie, on the outline of biblical usage?
Dragon, serpent, sea monster, dragon or dinosaur, sea or river monster, serpent, venomous snake.
Okay, so that means that when he created on this day, it's not whales. It's way different than whales. He created dragons. He created serpents. And
Leviathan.
This is really cool. If you want to go look this up, look up when the word dinosaur actually came into the dictionary. It's not before the 1500s, it's after that. And it only describes these land dragons. Whereas all other cultures before that used the word dragon to describe a land dragon, a sea dragon, and a flying dragon. And then you look at things like the zodiacs or the Chinese calendar, and you see that there's all these animals that represent it, and then a mythical creature, a dragon, all real animals, and then one non-real animal. No, there was a real animal, and we have fossils of them. We call them dinosaurs in our language, but they were always dragons. So I'm scrolling down to the bottom here, and it says concordance results. This means that every time the word H8577 is in the Old Testament as Tanin, these are the Bible verses. And if you scroll down, there's a very good amount of Bible verses with the word dragon in it. Isn't that pretty cool?
That is pretty dope, man.
Ezekiel, Micah, Jeremiah.
Better than Lord of the Rings.
The book of Isaiah. The Lord of the Rings is just taking the stories.
Yeah, they just take everything
from the Bible. Yeah. The book of Job, when you learn about the Leviathan and the Behemoth had a tail like a cedar tree, and the Leviathan was this ocean serpent dragon that no one could pierce its skin. And the Most High uses it when he's arguing with Job to tell him, you don't get to question me. Look at this thing I created over here. And he describes the Leviathan, the dragon. So I thought that this was
reread that.
really interesting, and hopefully, obviously the whole point or the goal of this leadership podcast is for you to go learn and read for yourself. So I'm giving you the fishing pole, you go fish on your own.